I'm here with Tim, but Tom, he's called Tom, and he is playing as part of Team Canada, and you're obviously Canadian.
Yes, completely not Canadian at all.
No. But you've been there once.
Quite a lot of times. My dad lives out there and I'm a resident, but most of the time I'm English.
Not this weekend.
No, for this weekend I am distinctly Canadian.
Obviously.
But no singing at this stage, otherwise I'd do Canadian National Anthem.
Oh. Or the South Park one.
Or the South Park one, yeah, I could do that one too.
Do it if everyone else loses and you're like, what? Blame Canada.
Good plan, yeah.
Got to. So, explain to me, as a very good tournament player, what is the differences with the ETC over an uncomped event?
Okay, I'm going to get the biggest difference between the ETC and most of the other tournaments that people go to is it's a team event rather than a singles one.
Okay.
So instead of playing on your own for just your own glory, we're part of a team of 8 players, and the first thing you have to do is decide which players are playing which players on the other team, and that's done by a system of pairings. You each put up an army, and then you reveal them at the same time, and the other team goes, don't like that one, but you put 2 armies up against it from your side face down, they do the same. Then you reveal them and you get the wonderful period of picking who's actually going to play who, which normally most teams are quite prepared, so you'll look through all the lists, because that's the other huge difference. Of course, ETC's open list. All the lists are published on the internet a month before the tournament, so everybody can see what everyone else has got. So you find yourself sat and you look down the list and you go, okay, so we've colour-coded like the matchups by whether it's really, really good, really, really bad, or oh no, don't make me play that. And you put your armies up and people look at them. So we found ourselves a couple of times in a position where we had people going, we'd gone by a little colour code that says blue, good, oh, put 2 armies against it. And our guy's looking at, our guy who's up's looking at the 2 armies that have come against him going, yeah, that one that's blue, yeah, that should be red. You're like, right, well you're playing the blue one then. So that works most of the time, but just occasionally you'll have to give someone something a bit rubbish so that no one else gets it because it's worse for them. In our 3rd round, they put me up against the Skaven. Now, I play Demons. Demons hate Skaven, it's horrendous. But it was worse for everybody else, and I had the most sort of junk to just keep him back and keep out of the way. So I did just that.
It's a system of, with it being a comped event, and it's capped point-wise, so you can only reach a maximum of how many points each game?
Yeah, so you've got 8 players on a 20-0 system playing, so in theory the rounds are out of 160 points, but you can't win bigger than 100 and you can't get less than 60. We call it pity points. If you end up at less than 60, you get pity points to make you up to 60, and if you end up at over 100, no one cares because you're playing entirely too seriously. Well, I imagine all the teams at the other end of the hall care, but as we're currently sat resoundingly in last place, and quite possibly about to lose the last round as well, I'd say anyone who's getting 100 points is playing too seriously.
That's an excellent point. They're all very serious and it should be about drinking.
Yes. To give an example of the difference in preparation, Team Canada, we knew our final team 3 weeks before list deadline, which was a month before the event, so that's 7 weeks before we got here. The Team Poland guys were selected in September, and I think some of them have played something like 400 games with the list they're using this weekend, all to ETC, because over here, like in Poland, every tournament is ETC, like apart from 2. In England, you're lucky if there's 2 in a year.
Yeah.
I say lucky. The ETC system's good for the teams, but the armies aren't really very well balanced against each other, I don't personally think, so it's pretty rubbish as a singles
So you prefer an uncomped singles?
Uncoped or something that's just a little bit more balanced. Certain armies like this are just ridiculous in singles.
Give me an example of which.
Ogres have been massively helped. I mean, they're strong anyway, but ETC has restrictions on the number of dice you can cast spells with, and Death and Shadow, you can only cast spells with 4 dice. So your normal tools for making ogres cry, your Pit of Shade and your Purple Sun, you've only got 4 dice, and they just go, 6, stop it, right, now what are you going to do? And you go, cry, and they run over the top of you. In the team tournament, you can put the armies that can handle ogres without the magic up against them to stop them up. But if you're playing singles and you're playing someone like, I don't know, High Elves who need magic to stop ogres, you just look at them and go, ah, and then they run over the top of you. Assuming you not built as an anti-ogre high-elf army, which there are one or two, but most people don't, because it's rubbish against everything else. And that's the other cool thing about the team events. You can have and you can build lists designed for specific things. So some teams will take a dwarf list, which its only job is to get a draw. It's just designed to go, you don't want to come anywhere near me, I'm going to just sit in the corner and we're not going to do anything and I'm going to get 10 points. And that's used to stop people's really aggressive lists running in and killing everything on the other side of the table.
I can't imagine that to be the most enjoyable game to play, to be honest.
I think only the more serious teams who think that the winning of it is really important would have lists like that. We don't have anyone with that kind of job.
Well, I mean, if you're standing back and just sitting and shooting at something just to conserve the points, you've got a game time of 3.5 hours. So the rest of the time you're just standing about.
Yep, you pretty much cheerlead for the team. And you're not even supposed to stand too close to other people's tables. There are rules about how many people are allowed to be around tables, how often. There's no espionage, so now I've finished my game, I can't wander over to my mates in, say, Team England and see what they're up to, because that would be espionage, despite the fact it's the last round, and I'd be shooed on by a judge, potentially with a warning. It's not very likely, but be careful of these things.
Yeah, I found that being quite difficult to get some proper footage of some games when it's got to be a bit weird sometimes if you're being filmed, and a little bit of pressure is on as it is, never mind being watched. So I've kind of tried to keep my distance as to how much fantasy footage. 40k guys, don't give a crap, they're fine.
No, the 40k guys seem to have a completely different, like I don't know why, but the fancy one is very, very, very serious, very, very important. There's something hugely important up for grabs here. I can't see what it is myself. I've not seen a trophy like this big or massive cash prize or anything. I imagine it's just the pride of winning. I mean, it's not even, when it first started, apparently, the team that won it got to host it the next year, which seemed quite cool. It's like, yeah, you win it, you take it home. But they don't do that anymore. So it's not even like you're, going, well, we really want to host it, we've got a great venue, it's something really cool we want to do, so we'll win it and take it home. It's just like, well, you're winning it because you're better than everybody else, I guess, maybe.
So,
which is really important.
Really important. So, as a whole, with the amount of tournaments that you do and the variations of the English ones, how do you find this huge event?
It's good. I love the huge events. The bigger the event, the better, generally. I like loads of people being around, lots going on. It's always fun to see sort of, well, in this case, loads of different people and how they play Warhammer, because the different countries, like some of the things are really, really different. The different names of spells, they play armies very differently. Our Orc and Goblin player is a Polish guy, and he's like petrified of demons. He just will not go anywhere. He's like, no, I can't play demons, Andy Avery, who's on our team, who's an Orc and Goblin player in the UK, loves demons. He can't get enough of them. So we can't quite figure out what the difference is. Other cool things I've discovered is, I mean, in England, I'm about the only person I know who calls Demigriffs Chocobo Knights. You're now going to get 100 comments saying, oh, I call them Chocobo Knights too, but I've not met anyone else on the table who does. In Finland, everybody calls them Chocobo Knights, so there you go.
Finland know what it's about.
Yeah, Demigriff Knights, they are in fact Chocobos.
Right.
Or in one case, there's a guy here with chickens.
Chickens, yeah, I saw those. They're pretty cool. Have you thought about any of the bigger events in America?
I've considered it. It's just a long way to go and very expensive. What I'll probably do at some point in the next year or two, hopefully, is pin a holiday around the tournament. So I want to go to Adepticon, for example, and I'll maybe go out for 2 weeks and have Adepticon at either the beginning or the end. So the other thing you've got to be careful is flying with armies is a little bit of a pest. I don't know about anyone else here, but I don't like the idea of my £1,000+ worth of models, and okay, mine's a commission paint job, so that's another money on the end of it. Going through baggage handling where the luggage trolls are going to go, oh, let's kick it for fun. So my hand luggage is my army, clutched to my chest, going, get away from me, it's mine. So you have to fit the whole army into a case that you can carry on, and I'm cheap, so I fly on cheap airlines, and they're like, bag this big or else. And that just gets...
Nothing wrong with being cheap.
Luckily, our amazing sponsors, KR, gave us cases which are exactly the right size for flight baggage for even cheap airlines.
To be honest, I've got a KR backpack as well, so I've been taking my camera equipment in it, and it's been perfect size. It's been really helpful. So there's me promoting them as well with my just rubbish.
No logo. There's a
logo. Hey, I got a logo. mine though.
Yeah, but not theirs.
I've also got this Joey Berry Media, and I'm gonna treasure this forever. It's gonna be like in a picture frame and everything. I really love it. It's also official.
Because you've been called Media.
Yeah.
I could mention the other sponsor of Team Canada, Sarissa Precision, who very nicely offered to send us some templates. They never arrived. I'm sure they'll arrive with Matt like on Monday. So we were supposed to have really cool templates and they just never showed. Oops.
Oh dear. Oh dear. But still, I think the event as a whole, especially for someone new that's looking at tournaments for maybe the first time and hasn't really considered it and they're just getting into gaming, finds the social aspect, which is amazing by the way. It's something that I didn't really anticipate. Just in the evening, once we go out, I mean, I saw you yesterday, we had a couple of beers, and you know, everyone's really, really kind to each other. There's no like any aggression. It's like all in the table. Table time is man testosterone time, and they, you know, wipe you off the board. But afterwards, you'll have a beer and a laugh. It just seems like such an awesome environment and just community, really.
Yeah, and that's the best part about that. The two things I found is like any team tournament, you tend to get really good social scenes. There's some really good ones in the UK, Call to War at Maelstrom and the Giant Slayer Round team tournament. They're always brilliant. You go down, you play your team games, you make a load of friends, go out for some beers. Everyone sleeps at Andy's or doesn't because the drunk people keep trickling in 2s and 3s and tripping over everybody. Or in John Warmington's case, wandering half naked going, there are people here.
I'm sorry, half naked?
Well, to Andy's house it was half naked.
Right.
At the layer, I believe there is footage of him completely naked, but luckily I wasn't there, so I don't know.
I was. I saw it.
Nice. And yeah, we weren't there when he'd like been there the night before, so he walked in and goes, "Oh, there's people here, who the fuck are you?" And we're like, "Sleeping, slinging." And he walked off, so there we go. Apparently John Warmington drunk is quite like cooperative.
Well, I should be playing with one of your teammates, Matt Ansell, and doing a double lizard man for the team event, and he's going to be my guide. But how many games has he actually won?
So Matt's going to teach you how to play Lizardman, is that what he's offering?
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
Okay. At the end of game 5, Matt, with our amazing Lizardman evasion list, had results of 0, 0, 0, 3 and 4. When I walked away from the table not all that long ago, if he's lucky, he might double his score.
Oh God, he can't.
He's got to win one. We really, really want him to win one, but then we really, really want to win one round and ideally not come last, which at the moment, we've had no pity points. No pity points. All of our points are our own, but there's not very many of them.
No.
Which is a shame, because this is probably individually my best results ever. Started with Empire, big old 20-0. Then they gave me a lovely Orcs and Goblins list, which was a 10-10 draw. It's just Orcs and Goblins. We both got a lot of chaff, we killed all each other's chaff and went, no, it adds up to the same. Good game, thanks. Which was fine. Then they gave me Demons. They said, no one wants to play the Demons. I don't want to play the Demons either. I went, nope, you're having the Demons, have fun. So I won that 16-4.
Deal with that.
Yep, apparently I could, so there we go. Greatest Demons of Zinch, don't like bolted chains. There's a game-winning track for you. Pick up 5 dice, roll a double 6, kill the greatest demon. Way to do it. Next game I got Skaven. I hate Skaven, particularly Skaven players who, by the way, 3 dice to cast 13. Not cool. Seriously not cool. That was only a 9, and then today they gave me Empire and Empire, and Demons love Empire, so that was a 15 and a 20. Shout out to Paul Francois, I just played from the Swiss team. I don't think I've ever seen anyone's dice fall apart quite so badly on them. So, sorry, I was the one pushing an army and watching you run off the table.
Well, Andy Avery seems to be having some excellent luck as well. We played each other last week. He's kind of like my Giant Slayer Warhammer mentor. And honestly, I was playing 3 Terrorbursers with obviously terrible Wood Elves. And it didn't go very well. I had an Eternal Guard unit. I used Wisdom's Wild Form, 2 dice, double 6, Dimensional Cascade.
We've seen quite a few of those this weekend. I think Andy's dropped his Vampire through the Cascade twice on a 2 dice double 6. I've dropped one of my Wizards down a hole on double 6, and I think Matt might have done it 4 times now, which might be part of what's going wrong for him.
Matt's having some terrible luck, but I've not lost faith in my soon-to-be Lizardman partner, so hopefully he'll be alright.
It's just one aberration, he's amazing really.
Yeah. He's amazing. But he said to me that he's learning a little bit about why some of the double light stuff is so nasty and that he should have taken it. And that metal has not worked out very well. But I think because he has such a good list, he's had some really, like the nastiest matchups because, you know, should be able to take it, but just suffered unbelievable losses.
We watched him, remember this is Lidman leadership, so on 3 dice, fail 6 consecutive leadership tests on a 9 to run half his army off the board. Yep, 9 on 3 dice, 665, 665, whee! 665, 665. Just all went wrong.
Oh, poor guy. He looked really deflated earlier on today, but maybe you guys can pull it out the bag for the final round and beat Team Wales.
We'd love that. If we can get 100, we might just get above Team Wales. But I'm not totally convinced that that's going to happen. Our Skaven player, who's normally consistent and reliable, was looking to go probably a little bit south, which isn't great. Our Dark Elf player's been consistent, unfortunately at about the 7 or 8 points mark. And my younger brother, playing our High Elf list, has been wonderfully inconsistent, swinging from 0 to, well, actually 9 is the best so far, but he's got Wood Elves. Wood Elves are rubbish, so that could be a big one.
Tim Tom. He's such a lovely guy. He was going, might just risk the dragon in the war dances, just see what happens. I was like, don't just see what happens, know exactly what you need to do. I was nervous for him. What else is rubbish?
Oh, they shot his dragon off. When I walked away from the table, his dragon was dead and the Lord was stood in the middle of a large amount of Wood Elves. That's alright, he's got a 3 up rerolled armour save and a 4 up ward. And a magic sword. It'll be fine.
Is it ward or is it forest spirit?
Oh no, it's proper ward. It's a high elf. They don't get forest spirits.
Oh good, yeah, obviously.
No fake ward saves. Proper ones.
Fake ward saves. Oh, don't get me started on it. Don't get me started. I've had just some terrible games over the past couple of weeks.
Amulets of Light, or demons, in fact, tend to make them sad.
So for beginners, after seeing and playing lots of different games, what would you suggest is a good beginner army that kind of covers all bases?
It depends how much of the game you actually want to learn to play. Demons are fantastic. Demons are like stabilisers. You just push them forward, roll 5 up ward saves and kill everything you ever meet. But they don't play with half the rules. When you pick up a demon rulebook, you get the core book and you go, I don't need to know, rip half of that, because none of it applies to me. It's nice to know because it all applies to your opponents and it can make their army go wrong, like fear, running away, panic, all that. Demons don't do any of that. So demons are really simple. I hear ogres are quite simple to win with. You just put a load of Mornfang on the table and go, nah. There's 2 tricks to playing ogres. Don't put the Saber Tusk within 6 of the Mornfang. Keep the Mornfang within 12 of the General and the BSB. Nah. Oh, and take Iron Blasters because they're good.
That's helpful because I'm going to be practicing with some ogres just to get a little bit, well, more of a variation than Wood Elves and not playing properly.
Warriors can be good. I've had a lot of fun with warriors. You know, having a toughness 4 good armour army. They can take a lot of punishment. They're very forgiving. High Elves, prettiest army in the game. I adore them, but they are completely unforgiving. One mistake and your whole army just goes. Wood Elves are the same. Dark Elves aren't as amazing as they used to be, but they're still pretty easy. You've got a few sort of crutches, people call them, I guess, things that can pull you out when something goes a little bit wrong. Something that you can rely on to really go in and turn a game around. A Hydra, your pendant character, that sort of thing.
I can't believe how cheap they are. I haven't got over it ever since I found out. Ever since 175 points, and then my trait man's at 285. Outrageous, outrageous.
It is. Oh, they're absolutely ridiculous.
Can't believe it. The amount of damage it does as well. Morgan Tree Man. Poor Tree Man. But there's 4 Wood Elf players at the ETC that I have found. 1 in Serbia, 1 New Zealand, and I can't remember the other 2, but I think 3 of them are originally from New Zealand as well.
One of them's in the Swiss team because we're playing in.
Oh yes, of course. One of them's a Swiss and Australia. So Australia, Switzerland, New Zealand, and Serbia.
There might be 1 or 2 others as well. Someone did a breakdown of the list, so I'm pretty sure there were a few more than that on the Wood Elves this time.
Oh really?
Yeah, which was surprising because last year there was the grand total of 1 Wood Elf player at the ETC. Although they did get the best average performance of any army because he did reasonably well.
Ah.
So him was the best average performance of any army.
It surprises me to see them here, just because I guess, as you said, unforgiving.
unforgiving, but the other problem with them is they've got a lot of horrendous matchups. Demons, for example. But with the team tournament, you can control your matchups, so you can go, you know, the demon, my Wood Elves really don't like playing demons, so I'll make sure they don't play the demons, and they can go and play the, for example, Dark Elves, which they do quite like, generally, when the treeman's not being killed by Hydras.
Yeah.
That's what Flaming Archers are for.
It's always a sad moment.
Yes.
Well, thanks Tom Harris for having a chat with me. You're my long-time Twitter buddy, and it's been awesome to meet you in person, and thanks for letting me stay at your house.
That's also alright. Thanks for staying in my bed.
Woohoo!